Hello everyone, welcome to This Day. It is Monday, July 31st, last day of July. Can you believe it? I feel like we were just doing the 4th of July a week or so ago, and it's over. August is on the way. On the show today, are you sitting there with a hot cup of coffee? Are you trying to get woken up after a bad night's sleep? Well, we're going to talk to Dr. Bruce Tamlin from Providence Mission Hospital, and he's going to tell us all about dealing with insomnia and other sleep disorders, and maybe some tips on how you can get a little better night's sleep. So let's stay tuned for that. Also, the Saddle Club, they're going to be coming on, and Sally and Lynn are going to be here, and they're going to be talking. Can you see Sally's name? There we go. There's Sally's name. Sally and Lynn are going to be on the show, and they're going to be talking about some of the horse rescue events they do and other events they have coming up. So stay tuned for that. Hey, let's make sure you stay informed. We've got a great farmers market coming up for you, and it's going to be this Saturday, August 5th, 9 a.m. to noon. It is free. Event features all sorts of fresh seasonal produce, herbs, flowers, coordinated by the Garden Centers Club, and it is cash only. All proceeds are going to go be donated to the Florence Sylvester Senior Center Meals on Wheels program. So that's a great cause. Make sure you get out there, enjoy the farmers market, and have a great day out there coming up, like I said, this Saturday, August 5th. Let's take a look outside, and let's take a look at that weather. It's some high clouds out there, a little hazy. It's definitely muggy, and as you know, the weather is going to be pretty nice. 83 today is going to be our high. We're going to have some partly cloudy here. Deserts and mountains, they might get some thunderstorms. They might get some monsoonal rain and some lightning. For us, it's just going to be that extra humidity, and it's going to be a little warm and muggy, but no rain for us in the forecast. We will see those high clouds for the next 2 or 3 days. 80s all through the week, pretty straightforward. Let's take a look at the sunrise, sunset for us. Sunrise and sunset. Sunrise was a 6:02. Sunset is going to be 7:51 today. If you'd like to send us a great picture like we just saw of Clubhouse 2 over there in Laguna Woods Village, we'd love for you to send it to us. Laguna Woods Village TV at gmail.com is our email address. Please send the pictures. Make sure you give us your name, where you took the photo, and of course take the picture horizontally there on your phone so it fits on our screen just great. Hey, got a great treat for you. No meetings Monday. No meetings today. Great. So when we come back, we'll be talking about insomnia with Dr. Bruce Tamlin. Stay with us. Our next guest is Dr. Bruce Tamlin from Providence Mission Hospital. Dr. Bruce, thank you for joining us today.
You're welcome.
So we're going to talk a little bit about insomnia and what kind of makes you an expert. What's your background in insomnia and sleep disorders in general?
Oh, I became interested when I was in training in pulmonary like 40 years ago, and I came out to UC Irvine because they had one of the first sleep centers in America. At that time, it wasn't a specialty. And now, of course, everyone knows about sleep medicine and the problems with sleep. It's becoming more and more important every year.
Okay. So specifically, as we talk about insomnia, how does someone what are some of the telltale signs we might know? What is insomnia, and how is it different than I just have trouble falling asleep?
Well, probably more than half of us have had insomnia at some time in our life, but it usually resolves on itself. Different kinds of insomnia include initiating sleep, trouble falling asleep, or maintaining sleep, staying asleep, and then both. Many patients have both. If it lasts for more than 3 months, then it's regarded as chronic insomnia, which affects about 10% of us.
Okay. And so if, let's say I'm worried about something, I'm worrying myself and I'm up late at nights, that's not really something in terms of insomnia. So what are some of the things that we look for in terms of symptoms?
So some of the patients are sleepy all day long because they can't get the at least minimum of 6 hours of sleep. Some people are cranky and irritable. They're not themselves. Some people don't recognize that they have insomnia. And when we do sleep studies on patients, we can see that they are having arousals and periods of wakefulness all night long that they don't even perceive. So daytime fatigue is related to that, less energy. It's one of the causes of fatigue that maybe doctors forget to ask about car wrecks. Even people with insomnia can be as sleepy as someone with narcolepsy, and they can have sleep attacks during the day, so that it can be quite serious. And of course, the more you worry about it, the worse you get.
Hmm. Now, with so much technology and people looking at their phones at night and maybe having maybe overstimulated, are those some of the things that you would be watching for if a patient comes to you and says, "Hey, I think I'm having some sleeping issues"?
Those Apple Watches and the other devices are so helpful nowadays, and at the very least, it identifies someone who's interested in their sleep and their sleep quality, which again is becoming more and more important. They aren't completely accurate, but on the other hand, they're better than nothing. They can't really determine sleep stages, but they can determine how long a person is asleep and how disturbed their sleep is. So they're very helpful to us.
It can also sometimes be that people just aren't practicing good sleep habits in that case. And like when you're ruling these things out, when you look at these things, are people just like they're staying up too late, they're drinking caffeine at night, things like that? Or that some of the challenges that you have in identifying insomnia versus other factors?
And people often ask, do I need a sleep test to determine my insomnia? But really, visiting with either me or a nurse practitioner who's very experienced in sleep medicine is often good enough. And you can determine whether the patient is practicing what we call good sleep hygiene, which includes going to bed at the same time every night, waking up same time every morning, even on weekends,
Hmm.
and using a sleep environment that's receptive to sleep. That is, no lights, no electronic devices. It's been shown, there was one study where they were actually able to awaken blind people uh, by shining lights on their skin. So that
Really?
we're very sensitive to light, and we don't realize that. So there are other practices that are very helpful, and they fall under the category of sleep hygiene.
Okay. Now, if I'm having these kind of challenges and I'm doing this, what is the test? I guess since you say there's no real test, what is it that I'm going to help you determine this person has insomnia? What are some of the key identifiers in there?
Well, a discussion with the patient. A sleep diary is very helpful. We usually have the patient keep about a 2 week diary of when they wake up, when they go to sleep, when they have problems at night. That's part of a medical history. There's a scale called the Epworth Sleepiness Scale, which is a 24 point survey that determines whether somebody is dangerously sleepy. Normal is less than 10. A narcoleptic might be 20, 24, but people with insomnia have significant sleep during the day as well. We review the medicines. There are some medications that even the regular PCPs and internists don't know about that can cause sleep disturbances. For example, the beta blockers like propranolol, metoprolol, toprol, they can cause not only disrupted sleep, but bad dreams. So often we have a patient with the permission of their doc to switch it to the morning rather than the evening. A lot of the mood medicines, basically, there are two categories: mood medicines that make you chill, relax you, and mood medicines that give you energy. Sometimes we find a patient is on a mood medicine that gives them energy that they're taking at night. And
Oh,
so we ask their doctor if it's acceptable to move it to the daytime. There are medical issues too. Some of the medical issues include gastroesophageal reflux, so where they have heartburn that wakes them up, hidden asthma, asthmatics that don't think, they say they quote outgrew their asthma, but at nighttime they wheeze. And in those cases, that's a good time to do a in-facility sleep study, which
okay.
is really remarkably insightful.
So
Also, leg
there could be some hidden other hidden or other unknown medical issues that are now causing the insomnia on top of whatever that, like you said, the sleep apnea or the asthma and things like that.
correct. So we weed them out during the interview with the patient and determine whether they need a sleep study. If we're concerned about the periodic limb movements, which go along with restless leg syndrome, we can do a sleep study. When you do a sleep study in the facility, patients usually only change positions maybe 3 to 5 times. Some of the patients flip around 12 times, 10, 12, 15 times. And in those patients, we're concerned about those disorders that I mentioned, and also the musculoskeletal stuff, the back pain patients, the fibromyalgia patients, and so forth. And if we can help them find the right doc or help them get better, treat their symptoms, then they sleep much better. So insomnia may be associated with medical issues.
Okay. Now we talked about some of the short-term things you might notice. What are there long-term impacts, like in terms of sleep deprivation, that can impact your brain and your overall health?
Oh, definitely, definitely, and it can affect you over time, and it's a significant health risk, including cardiac disease, including stroke. There's many things that are associated with insomnia if left untreated. If you can treat the insomnia, identify it, and treat it early, then you have more of a likelihood of correcting it. If it's been established for 2 years or more, it's very difficult to treat, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't try, because again, there may have been overlooked issues that someone else hadn't thought of.
Mhm. Now, can a lot of our viewers obviously are retired, and can there be age-related insomnia? Is that something that can happen to you as you get older, have more trouble sleeping in general, and things like that? Is that something you see in a higher age group?
As you get older, you're more likely to have insomnia, but also you're more likely to have medical issues. You're more likely to have time on your hands, and you watch the news every night and you worry about that sort of thing. In general, as you get older, worries don't increase, but they decrease because you've learned in life that it doesn't really make any difference how much you worry. But having said that, there are a lot of factors in people's lives. So the two biggest groups are the quote elderly and also women. Women seem to have it more than men. Part of it's related to menopause, but part of it is just genetic. They can have insomnia that runs in families. I always ask if there's a family member, and it's typically the mother who had insomnia, and you see it through generations. So they've identified a gene for insomnia,
Hmm.
and so far they can't fix it. But someday, probably not too far away, they'll be able to fix that gene as well.
Okay. You talked about some of the other things, don't use electronics, get into a regular sleep pattern. What about things I can prevent in terms of alcohol use, smoking? Are there some other things we're doing to ourselves that are setting ourselves up for these challenges?
Yeah, and the misconception is that alcohol helps you sleep, and it does help you fall asleep. But typically, the patients wake up around 2, 3, 4 a.m., and it's a mini alcohol withdrawal. So if you must drink alcohol, it should be earlier in the maybe in the late afternoon, but not right at bedtime. Also, smoking that causes sleep disruption. There's thankfully not as much smoking here in California as there is around the rest of the country, but smoking can affect your sleep quality as well. Pets in the bed, we always ask about pets in the bed. We always ask about the bed partner. Does the bed partner snore? Maybe we need to see the bed partner. Many of the family, many of the bed partners have moved and are in different rooms because of such things. So the room should be cool. It should be dark. If you feel like you need to, you can't sleep, you should get up and leave the room and maybe sit in the kitchen or dining room for a while. And when you're sleepy, go back to sleep.
Mhm. So best if you're facing some of these challenges, best thing to do is get a consultation from a nurse or doctor.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Before you spend money on a test, uh, the tests are useful, uh, particularly if one suspects sleep apnea as a cause or limb movements as a cause,
Hmm.
because it can wake you up, or other medical issue. I mean, the gold standard is an in-facility sleep study, and we learned so much from it, but the insurance companies actively discourage it. Interestingly, Medicare patients we can usually get in without any problem, and we learned so much.
Okay, well, great. Well, it sounds like we've got a lot of things that people can do right now just from this conversation that might be able to help. And then if we see continuing problems, that's a time to get a consultation, right?
Right.
Right. Well, Dr. Tamlin, Providence Mission Hospital, thank you so much for joining us today. Some great information.
Glad. Thanks for inviting me. I
Thank
hope
you.
everyone does learn something from this.
We will. We will. Thanks a lot. You're watching This Day. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Saddle Club with Lynn Nicholson and Sally Ingmanson. Amazing club. Thanks for coming on the program. It's been around forever. Tell us a little bit about the Saddle Club in the first place.
The Saddle Club is the social arm of the Equestrian Center. The club members get together for social activities, and we also have fundraising activities. We've had 2 successful barbecues so far this summer, and we raise money, and with that money we purchase things for the Equestrian Center that wouldn't really be in the budget. Most recently we've purchased 18 fans to be mounted on the wall for the horses. It gets hot in the stalls, and so they mount them on the wall, and they get a little breeze. They're fans.
Nice.
So that's our most recent purchase. We purchased a little gate for Sebi, the miniature horse, so he could see out of his stall.
That was Lisa Hart's favorite horse.
Yeah, he's so popular, Sebi. And then let's see, we bought a couple of the covers for the outside turnouts, and so all the horses have covers now, and they can be in the shade during the day.
Terrific.
If they like to be.
I'm sure.
Let's see,
during the summer days, for sure.
We've purchased shovels and rakes and wheelbarrows, and what else, Sally?
A stethoscope.
Oh, Sally got a
We get
stethoscope once.
little things that are needed that aren't in the budget.
That's terrific.
Yeah.
Now, the Equestrian Center, we were talking before, has been around since the 60s, and I mean, it's got a rich history. It was one of the first clubs here in the village, right?
We think it was the first building built. And
The
oldest
center over
club.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they
Yeah.
have beautiful area, the whole big giant lot for the horses to be able to go out in the arena.
Yeah, it's a beautiful venue, and we don't have to be a member. Well, to be a member, you don't have to have a horse. Most of the members of the Saddle Club really don't have horses, so it's mostly social, nice people. So anybody interested, we'd be happy to have them.
And real quick, we were talking about this. This is surprising to me. They used to patrol on horses here in the old days.
Yes, there were mounted patrols that went through the neighborhoods. Unfortunately, we don't do that anymore, but there's some nice pictures mounted in the hospitality room at the Equestrian Center, and kind of fun to see.
Okay. So tell me a little bit about what you guys are doing. You have a fundraiser for Murphy that it's a retired horse and with hooves and hooves and woofs.
Hoofs and woofs.
Hoofs and woofs. Oh my goodness.
That's in Valley Center near Escondido. Okay, Murphy was a lesson horse. And he developed DSLD, which is a degenerative ligament disease. And he hated his stall up here. He hated the turnouts because they were so confining. He couldn't walk, and he needed to walk. And we would try to walk him, and he would just freeze. I can attest to that. So Hoofs and Woofs, a rescue that Lynn and I both know well, agreed to take him if we would sponsor him. And really, there he is.
There he is.
Yeah, beautiful horse. And there's one of our lovely ladies who donated to his support. And so he went down there. I don't think management expected him to last long. He got better.
Oh, great.
And he's off his drugs. He doesn't take pain drugs. He doesn't take anti-inflammatories. He's with his buddies. He gets turned out in the arena. Problem is, Murphy has munched through all of his donations in the term of $28 a bale of hay at a time. So we are mounting another drive to get money to help support Murphy at Hoofs and Woofs, and that money can just be delivered to the Equestrian Center. Checks made out to Hoofs and Woofs.
Terrific. Now, and that's one of the things that people probably don't realize about these horses. There, after they kind of go through their service and be able to ride, they're still they put out to pasture, so to speak. But that they still need to eat, and they still need the costs that are involved in supporting these animals, right?
Yeah. And they have another one, Belle. But Belle is still at the Equestrian Center, and people can come and see Belle by going on one of the tours. So I don't know if you can see that or not.
Can you bring some carrots?
Not really. We don't ordinarily give the horses snacks out of our hands because then Might want our hands as well.
There you go. There you go. So, what does a tour consist of when I come down to the equestrian center and take a look and see what you guys are doing there? What would I be seeing?
Well, we meet up with the people that are ready for the tour, and it lasts anywhere from half an hour to an hour, depending on the weather and the people on the tour. And we take them around and show them the whole setup of, we show them the arena and introduce them to some of the horses. They get to see Sebi. And let's see, what else do we do? Just
Oh, we talk
around.
about colors, we talk about breeds,
Okay.
we talk
And if I
about
was
gated
interested,
horses.
if someone come down there and say, I'm interested in riding, what would that whole process be? There's lessons. I imagine I shouldn't be getting on a horse just without any guidance.
Exactly. Right now there is a waiting list to take lessons, but we're happy to take names and phone numbers, and when the names come up, they could get called and can come in for a lesson.
Sounds terrific.
After
Yeah.
the COVID shutdown, the waiting list got quite long.
I'll
so
bet, right.
It does take
Yeah.
quite a while to work one's way up, but at least they have reestablished the lessons and have some good horses.
Yeah.
So what are some of the things you guys have coming up in terms of fundraisers and fun events that are going to be going on that people can come out and kind of enjoy and get to know everybody?
Well, on October 15th, it's a Sunday, we're having an event we're calling the Moonshiners, and it's the new Moonshiners Band, and there will be music, and it's a concert, but there'll also be line dancing lessons. And the line dancing lessons will be throughout the evening. So if you want to freshen up on what you learned earlier, you can get into the next lesson and
Okay.
go for it. And a lot of the music will be geared for line dancing.
Is it important the social part of the club too, not just the riding horses, but maybe meeting people who are like-minded in this area?
Exactly. We meet some of the nicest people from all different walks of life that come in. They just want to be around the horses, and it's a social club.
But also the members are also volunteers, and they volunteer helping to take care of the horses, the water buckets, feeding,
Okay.
whatever job.
So you get to be very hands-on with the horse.
Very-
You get to be kind of really get to know them and their personalities.
Depending on your ability to work with them.
Okay.
So, kind of start at ground level and work your way up. But they are always looking for volunteers to help, and then we're always looking for new members of the saddle club.
Now, Sally, how did you get your start? Were you always riding horses? Were you around them as a kid? Or?
I was around them as a kid. I grew up on a farm in Ohio, and then I volunteered at Hoofs and Wolves for 10 years. So I know how well she takes care of the horses down there. And then I moved up here for one of the main reason was that they had an equestrian center.
And Lynn, you're a city girl, but you discovered the
I'm a
horses
city
later
girl.
in life?
I did. I moved here in 2017 and just went down to the equestrian center to check it out and enrolled in lessons, and then met people from the saddle club, Sally and Gary, and started going to the meetings, and I realized, oh, this is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And the members of the saddle club don't have to volunteer if they don't want to, but it's an opportunity that's
Right.
there.
And are the some folks that don't ride, they just come down there just to be part of it and
Exactly.
be with the horses?
Yeah, many of the members and other people from the community, they just come down for the atmosphere, the tours. Some people come over and over to the tours just to have the interaction with the horses.
And it's therapeutic. Being around those animals is therapeutic, and that's what people discover when they're over there.
Yeah.
Now it is a cost, like we said, it is a cost-intensive kind of hobby. This isn't, it isn't for the faint of heart in terms of the fundraising. Kind of goes on year round. Let me see that shirt. That's something we can also
Yes.
folks can get a hold of. They can make a donation and get a shirt as a
saddle-
fundraiser.
The Saddle Club has new T-shirts that we just had made, and we take orders periodically. If anybody would like a shirt, they can send an email to saddleclublw@gmail.com, and when we can put their order in. They're cotton, they're very nice shirts, and they wash up nice, and they have our logo.
Nice logo.
Yeah,
Very good.
so-
we also have a phone number for people who want
Great.
more information, right?
Yes.
And we have that up on the screen. So if people want more information about how to donate, how to become a member, whatever it might be, they can do it that way too.
Exactly.
All right. Well, Lynn and Sally, thank you so much for joining us. Saddle Club
Thank
sounds
you.
like some great stuff coming up. People can get more information for emails and the phone number.
Right.
Yes, thank you for having us.
Thank you for
Appreciate
being
it.
here.
Thank you.
When we come back, we'll take a look at the Monday movie. Stay with us.
Hi there, it's Bob Eubanks. You probably know me from the Newlywed Game, but what you may not know is I'm the only living person to have produced a Beatles show all 3 years they toured America. I've put together a great show called Backstage with the Beatles. I tell seldom or never before heard stories that lead up to music with a Beatle band on stage with me, Ticket to Ride. We're going to be here, Laguna Woods, in the Pack, September 23rd at 7 p.m.
Looking for a change of scenery? You don't have to play golf to enjoy all that 19 Restaurant and Lounge has to offer. From a delicious breakfast menu to our delectable lunch and dinner specials. At 19 Restaurant and Lounge, there is something for everyone. Relax with your friends and family and take in the beautiful view from our spacious patio. Or enjoy a cocktail and appetizer in our lounge. 19 Restaurant and Lounge is a great place to socialize, enjoy a meal, or simply take in the view. Join us 7 days a week and experience Laguna Woods' exclusive dining experience.
Living and learning in Laguna Woods Village is a unique experience. For over 45 years, the Emeritus Institute has provided tuition-free college classes within your community. Join us to experience expert faculty, quality academics, and to make friends through the Emeritus Institute. New classes start every semester, and you can join nearly any time. Visit us anytime at saddleback.edu/emeritus. Learn, live, and thrive with the Emeritus Institute.
Laguna Woods Dental Care, our goal is to serve and provide dental services to the residents of Laguna Woods. Dr. Mohsen Mahmood is currently specializing in senior dental care from USC Dental School and has been serving the Laguna Woods community for over 16 years. At Laguna Woods Dental, our top priority is your overall wellness, ensuring your current medications do not affect your oral health. We offer a convenient plan for $250 a year that includes exam, x-rays, and all types of cleanings are covered. Our office is located right outside of gate number 3. Come book your appointment today.
As we wrap up here this day, we want to take a look at the Monday movie. It is a great one, classic with Cher, Nicolas Cage. It's Moonstruck. Olympia Dukakis is in this as well. I remember when this first came out way back in the day, I saw it in the theaters. Really fun comedy, romantic comedy. You'll want to see it. It's brought to us by Pacific Financial Planners, 2 p.m. with subtitles, 6 p.m. without the subtitles. Let's take a quick look outside before we go and take a look at that weather. It's going to be a warm one, as we've said, for the rest of the week. Lots of humidity in the air from the monsoonal flow, and we're going to have partly cloudy skies. We may get some just all sunny at the end of the week, but that's going to be it for our weather. And that's going to be it for this day. Thanks for watching. You can view This Day 9 a.m., 12:30, and 5 o'clock here on Village Television. For all of us here at the studio, hope you make this day a great one.
Seniors fear running out of money more than death itself, and the number one mistake you can make is underestimating volatility, which can derail your retirement. For 35 years now, I've coached seniors to financial independence by using 2 simple rules. Never take big losses and create income along the way. It's your financial future. Call now to get a free risk analysis to ensure your investments are protected, and we'll send you our Safer Money System, 949-219-0692.